that is when somebody steps on stage in front of a gathering or a commander's call. When somebody says, "Good morning, McKnight," it's stand up and say, "Good morning, sir." Can we do that, please? Let's rock the room. Everybody stand up quickly, quietly.
Good morning, sir.
Quietly. Good morning, McKnight.
Good morning, sir.
That was excellent. Thank you. Actually, since you were all standing up, can we stand up again? Let me explain some of the traditions and customs that the military have. And one of them is standing at attention. And since you all are standing, what we'll do is I'll show you what attention is. Can you hear me in the back, okay? Great, thanks for the reply. I think the reply was yes, sir. Standing at attention, your heels are together. So put your heels together. If 12 o'clock is straight ahead, then your left toe should be pointing at 11 and your right toe should be pointing at 1. It should look like this. Your hands are straight down at your sides. Your thumb is pointing straight down. Your chest is out and you're looking straight ahead and standing tall. And it's absolute quiet. No movement. You're paying respect to whoever's up here. One of the other traditions we have is the salute. There's two different types of salutes. One of the salutes is acknowledgement or a greeting. When you're walking by an officer, you salute, you snap it, and do not release it until that officer returns that salute. Standing at attention. There's also another one. It's for ceremonial purposes, and there's orders to it. It's present arms, raises the salute, and order arms drops the salute. When you salute, when you don't have a hat on, the right hand comes up to the right elbow or right eyebrow. Your elbow's almost straight out, your hand is flat. You can all do that with me if you'd like. And you snap it down. When you're greeting an officer or a greeting salute, you want to beat him down, so snap. That was excellent. So when you hear me present arms, I want you to do the salute. Be careful of the neighbor next to you. Don't knock him on the eyeball with your elbow. But we are at attention, so it's absolutely quiet. McKnight, present arms! Quiet. Order arms! That was excellent. Thank you very much. The others, remain standing, please, and you're still out of attention. When you're out of attention, one of the other orders that an officer may give is at ease. And at ease just means relax. And don't sit down, it just means relax. At ease! Now you relax. Remember these commands because we're going to use them here shortly again. Now you can all be seated. Thank you very much. My name is Staff Sergeant Scott Barnes of the United States Air Force. I am the very proud father of one of your 8th graders, Cameron Barnes. Cameron, can you stand up, please? I know all the family members and the veterans are already stood, but I need to thank Cameron because last year at this time I was over in the Middle East and Cameron was home. I'm usually not emotional at all. I wanted to thank Cameron because while I was gone, she helped take care of her little sister, helped with chores around the house, and helped her mom any way she could. I'll just give you a brief history about me. I joined the military right after high school, after the summer. I had to party a little bit before I went over and went to basic training. After I was done with my training, they said, "Hey, you're going to go to the Philippines." I said, "Where the heck in the United States is the Philippines?" Well, soon found out where the Philippines was and ended up spending 4 years over there. It's South Pacific or Southeast Pacific, Southeast Asia. From there, I got to travel around the Asian theater. I got to go to Singapore, Bangkok, Korea, Japan, Okinawa. I spent a lot of time traveling. Excuse me. However, 6 months into my arrival there, they said, hey, Herman Barnes, you're going to go over to this little island and do an operation for us. So they sent me over to the Indian Ocean, this remote, very small island. And what my job there was just to download helicopters off of C-5s. Now, C-5s are one of the largest aircraft that the military has. And just to give you an idea, these helicopters are huge. And we could fit 3 of those in those C-5s, and my job was to download those. The other illustration I can give you, in the C-5, you can actually play a game of football inside of this thing. I found out this morning that those helicopters that we downloaded and what their jobs were, there was a gentleman here that I just met who's the principal of Hazen that was actually on those helicopters that I downloaded. John?
He left.
He had to go back up, yeah.
Just shows you how small our world is and how close the military is, because he was on one of those helicopters. And those helicopters' jobs was to actually fly around the Indian Ocean, sweeping for mines. They were looking for mines, and the mines were dropped to destroy or blow up any ships that were bringing goods and supplies into the Middle East. That's what their job was. So I think I spent 60 days on this tiny little island with a bunch of Navy guys and had a blast doing it. That operation eventually led us into what was known as the Persian Gulf War, and that happened years later after I got out. After my 4 years of serving active duty in the Philippines, I paid the ultimate sacrifice. After I got out of the military, I had 4 children. I owned several of my own businesses for the last 18 years and rejoined my fellow airmen in 2009. A year later, I was deployed to the Middle East for 4 months to support Operation Enduring Freedom. That's what we're calling the war over in the Middle East, Operation Enduring Freedom. That is what the Air Force calls it, and that's what brings us here today. But before I go any further, I wanted to add a little something. When I was growing up, and I was about your age, or maybe a little bit younger, every time I saw somebody in uniform, or police, or anybody in uniform, my first thought was to ask them if they had killed anybody. I don't know exactly what the number is. It's less than 1% of anybody currently servicing the military of the armed forces have ever put a human being in their gun sights. Less than 1%. There's 1.43 million of us actively serving in the world right now. So help deter the need that you may have to ask if I ever killed anyone. My answer would be yes. Every time I play Xbox.